is obsessed with getting more leads, but what if I told you that's not your real problem? Today, I'm going to show you visually, step by step, how you can make more sales by leveraging the leads already existing in your funnel. Hi, I'm Lisa. I am a business coach and I've helped thousands of business owners scale to 7 figures. And I can tell you this one thing. Sometimes it's not about just getting more leads in through the door. It's about what you actually do with the leads that are already in your funnel. It's about cleaning up your systems and what you do with the leads existing in your funnel. And if you're tired of the constant hustle, then this video is for you. And what I'm about to show you today is a glimpse into the work that I do with my 6-figure clients who are scaling to 7 figures. So here's the cold hard truth. A touch point is how many times a customer has to touch your business, whether it be being in contact with your website, being in contact with you on a sales call, or receiving an email from you. And the statistic is only 2% of people will actually convert and purchase from you after their first touch point with you. 3% will convert after the second, 5% will convert after the third, and 10% will convert after the fourth. And only 80% of people will actually convert after the fifth. And by the way, obviously this is not to scale, but bear with me. Now the issue is that most people actually give up after the first touch point with a lead. So they give them a sales call, that person says no, and they go, oh, well, that's it. I guess I'll just give up now. Let me focus on getting more leads in through the door. But we're not going to be like the other people who give up after the first touch point. What we're going to do is we're going to leverage our leads better by introducing more touch points with them to get to this 5th touch point so we can increase the statistic of us actually converting that lead. Here's a simple, repeatable, and scalable process that I use. So let's say the first touch point is somebody lands onto your website and they fill out your form and they give you their phone number. Then what happens is the second touch point that somebody has with you is they have a sales call. Now, for a lot of business owners, this is the end of that funnel. So in that sales call, either you win that lead, awesome, you make some money, your business grows, or you lose that lead and they kind of just get kicked out of the funnel and that's the end of their story with you. So instead, what we're going to do now is we're going to increase the number of customer touch points they have with you by actually nurturing that lead. So what I've added here is an email sequence. And remember, the more touch points we create, the greater the possibility for us to convert each lead into a customer. So what I recommend you do is actually send a series of 5 emails over the course of 10 days to nurture this lead about you and your business and the offering you have available. And each one of these serves as a new touch point. And so by introducing these extra touch points, especially for someone who actually didn't close with you straight away, so you actually lost them, what you're doing is you're actually reintroducing them back into the funnel rather than just letting them go off and disappearing and going to a competitor, and actually re-nurturing them so that hopefully what this means is they cycle back into booking in another sales call with you so that they can actually get converted. And by the way, later in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to write about in each of these emails, so keep watching. Using emails is an incredibly efficient way for you to increase these touch points because eventually it can be completely hands-off for you, because what you can do is automate this entire sequence, who it gets sent out to, using email software like ConvertKit. So before I dive into each of these emails and what they're going to cover, I'll let you know that I've actually already included all of these emails inside a document for you. You can go ahead and download it from the description box below. I hope that that's going to be super helpful for you, that you can streamline your processes, you can just copy it, tweak what you need to, and then start executing it and implementing it in your business so you can start closing more leads today. So each of my emails, they're short, they're personal, and they're focused on providing value. You can send anywhere between 3 to 5 emails over the course of 7 to 10 days. Each needs to have a clear purpose. What you're doing is you're reinforcing the benefits, addressing any hesitations that that lead might have about signing up to you and your services, and you're essentially keeping the conversation going. You want to make sure that you're staying in that person's orbit, so when their pain point, when their frustration is really high, they go, you know what? Lisa, that's the person that I want to go to. She's been emailing me and you know what? I want to give her a try. So my first email is always hyper-personalized. I would send this out manually after each conversation that you have. You can write a recap of what you've actually heard them say to make sure that you're catering the service to suit them. And then something bonus you can do is actually attach a valuable resource. So if there is a lesson plan, a progress tracker, a study guide that you have available that you can see is specifically going to target and help them overcome their challenges or get them to their goals, then drop it in there, because what you're doing, you're providing value for them even before they've actually closed with you. And so From their perspective, they're thinking, wow, if she's actually giving me this much quality value even before I've paid her, then what am I actually going to get when I pay her? I'm sure it's going to be so much more than this. So don't be afraid to provide value up front. Some people are kind of scared. They're like, oh, but this is proprietary. This is our stuff. I don't know if I should be really showing them until they pay us. I'm actually on the side of give them that value. Give them the best chapter of the book so that they can actually see, wow, this is the potential of what we could cover inside our sessions together. Now, you always want to have a call to action in each email to tell them what that next step is in order to get signed up with you. So for you, it might be, hey, if you want to discuss next steps, just reply to this email. It could even be something along the lines of to sign up, click here. And this could be a link towards your services page with a purchasing button as well. Now, moving on to email 2. Now, email 2 is showcasing your team or you. After the recap email, my next message in the sequence is all about introducing our team. I want the leads to see that there are real people behind our tutoring service, their expertise, and what makes us different. This helps build trust and helps families feel confident that their child will be supported by professionals that actually care. Now, if you don't have a team, then you can give a backdrop, a background about you. So my subject line here was LSG, Lisa Study Guides, my tutoring business. LSG's private tutoring students results. Last year was our best year yet. And so in the body, I talk about basically our track record, what the tutors have been able to achieve. And I also include photos of the tutors just so that they can actually feel a bit more connected with the people that will be supporting them in their study. If, for example, you're saying on the call, hey, like I'd love for you to get connected with Kira. I think she'd be a really good tutor for you. To the person, they're like, who's Kira? I don't really know that much about them. And so actually putting a face to the name helps people feel a little bit more confident about their purchase. And as with all the other emails, I have a call to action, a link for them to actually get started with tutoring. Email 3 is social proof and success stories. So a couple of days later after my second email, I will share a relevant success story or testimonial. What testimonials do is they help to build trust and helps that lead actually picture themselves in this same position, achieving those results. This encourages them to actually buy into your services because they can hopefully see that you're that right person to take them to their goal. Again, we have a call to action on the next steps for them to get started with tutoring. Now, email 4 is the founder's story. People want to buy into a story that actually resonates with them, that inspires them. And so share a little bit more about how you actually came about starting your business and why it is important to you. Talk about your mission, your values, because if that lead connects to your mission and your values, then it's likely they will be an ideal client of yours because they're aligned with your company's philosophy and mission. Now, the 5th email is the final follow-up. Now, you might send this 1 to 2 days after your 4th email. Each of the emails can be about 1 to 3 days apart from each other. It doesn't really matter exactly when that timing is sent, so long as there is a natural cadence to it. You don't want to overload that lead with emails, but you also want to be present enough so that you are staying front of mind for them. Now, what I do in this final follow-up is I say, are you interested? And obviously, if I still haven't at this stage, about a week later, heard from that person, they haven't signed up, what I'll just say is, I'm just checking in to see if you're interested in tutoring with us. We've only got 1 spot left available for a new student this month. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating scarcity and a little bit of urgency as well. What I'm saying is that there's actually not unlimited spots, and you probably don't have unlimited spots available, especially if you are working by yourself, you have a limited number of capacity, and you have a team. I mean, your team members also have limited capacity in terms of offering that service. And so you can leverage this to your advantage by saying, we've actually only got X spots available for this month. And you want to have a call to action as usual. And this is actually the most important part of the email. If now isn't the right time, no problems at all. Wishing you the best for now. I'll reach back out a little further down the track to see how you're going. So what this does is, even if that person doesn't reply to you, if they don't end up booking a call with you, you're almost signposting for them. You're bookmarking that conversation and saying, hey, look, I get it. Probably now is not the right time. Maybe you're a little bit busy, and I respect that. But you know what? I want to make sure that I look after you. And so I might check in with you a few months down the line just to see how you're going. And so what this does is it almost creates that permission for you to check in with them a little later on. That's out of a place of caring, out of concern, as opposed to if you didn't write this, then a few months down the track, if you're bombarding them with emails again, then it's just going to feel like you're just trying to hard sell them. It's a small shift, it's a small nuance, but it does make a big difference in how you build that rapport and relationship with that lead. So let me recap what we've covered in this video. People who opt in and give you their email address or their phone number will jump into a sales call with you. Now, some of those people will convert, but a lot of those people will also be lost. Now, instead of just letting them flow into the ether and never contacting them again, what you want to do is you want to increase the number of customer touch points with them by sending out an email sequence. This email sequence serves to nurture those leads and help them build trust with you and your business so that you can cycle them back into a sales call and hopefully actually win those leads. And with that email sequence, you can send, say, a series of 5 emails over the course of 7 to 10 days, each one about 1 to 3 days apart from each other. And what do you talk about? Firstly, you send a personalized recap talking about their goals, their pain points, so you can show that you've been truly listening and you understand how you can help them and why you're the right person to support them. Talk about your team or yourself, if you don't have a team, to help them build trust in who they're getting the services from. Third is social proof. So show them the results that you've been able to achieve and help them actually see themselves in those shoes. If they can actually imagine themselves in that future state through you and your business, then that is going to help them convert. Next is the founder's story. We like to buy into businesses that inspire us and actually are aligned with us. And so if you share a little bit more about how your business came about, why you're actually there to create this service, what you do, what you're wanting to achieve, how you want to help people, that's also going to help build rapport. And finally, if you don't hear back from these people, then you don't want to keep spamming them, but instead do a final follow-up in the sequence where you say something along the lines of, I'll check back in with you a little bit further down the line, because that opens up the opportunity for you to get back in touch with them again and re-nurture them, maybe when the time is a little bit of a better fit for them. And just as a reminder, I have included this exact email sequence, the one that I use to lift up the conversion rates of Lisa's study guides to over 50% and help us close over $2 million worth of deals. And that is in the description box for you below, so that you can just copy and paste it, make tweaks where you need to, and see how that actually helps you close more sales. And if you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to comment the word touch points, just so that I know if you've watched all the way until the end of this video, you find this helpful and you'd love for me to do more of these type of videos. And if you want to learn more about the next stage, which is I've converted leads, now I want to secure them as a long-term client and bring in recurring revenue, then I recommend you watch my video here, how I got booked out as a tutor. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.